Hi, good morning. Welcome to today's 30-minute, very relaxing, very extremely chill yoga stretch. You actually don't need very much to participate in this practice. You could grab a yoga mat, but a blanket or a towel rolled out onto the floor will do just fine for this. We're going to be on the ground stretching for like 99% of the time. There will be one option to do a downward facing dog at the very end, followed by a forward fold, and then kind of rising up to stand. But you'll also have the option to stay in child's pose instead of doing that. So no equipment needed, no special clothes or like mat equipment. The other thing I wanted to say is that if you're someone who really likes a very energetic morning practice, that is amazing, but this practice won't be that. This is for the days that you wake up and you feel really stiff, or maybe you're feeling like a little anxious and activated, and you know you need to do something to help prepare yourself for the day, but you're just like not in the headspace, not in the mood to do something a little more vigorous. This is a great option for days like that. So I hope that you come back to it again and again. This is like my morning life. I've been doing this throughout the pandemic, just on my own. And it really highly recommend stretching, underrated across the board. If you like to listen to music when you do this sort of thing, I put a like mostly instrumental playlist down to the chat box. I'm pressing play now. We don't need to be synced up. It's all good. And we're going to get started lying down on our backs. So start to make your way there now. Any position on your back will do. I'll offer the option for reclined bound angle pose, where feet touch, knees open wide, spine rests long on the ground. But again, if this is a lot for the hips this morning, or maybe the low back needs more support, I invite you to find broken bridge with your legs, feet towards the edges of the mat, knees knocking in together. Rest your hands somewhere that feels comforting and good to you. Close or soften your eyelids. Give yourself a moment here, just breathing naturally, to notice just what this morning experience is like for you so far. Just taking inventory, a little moment of intentional inward reflection, noticing how your body feels, noticing if the breath feels like it's coming easy, observing the quality of your presence, noticing if your mind is busy, scattered, spaced out, maybe somewhere in between. And just a reminder that anything you're observing right now is absolutely welcome within this practice. There's nothing you need to fix, nothing you need to do differently before you're ready to be here. And in fact, if none of those things change throughout the next 30 minutes, it's also okay. This practice gives us the chance to just be with what is and practice allowing it to be there, accepting it. Take a big breath in, feel your low belly expand. And then open mouth, exhale, let your body soften as you breathe out. And again, like that, breathing in. Breathing out, really forcing the air from the lungs, feeling your core contract. One more like that, your biggest breath yet, breathing in. And breathing out, let something go. Blink your eyes open. You can leave the legs as they are. We'll warm up a little through the arms and chest with some snow angels. So Hands down at your side, palms facing up. As you breathe in, drag your arms up, out, and around, keeping the backs of the hands on the floor until you just find yourself in a big stretch, arms reaching back above your head. Take a moment here just to feel some space through the side bodies, thinking about lengthening through all of your fingertips. Breathe in again. And as you exhale, bend your elbows. So you're making like goalposts or like the letter W with your arms, and then leading with the elbows, drag your elbows back to your hips. It's okay if the hands come off the floor, feeling that opening across the chest. Do that a couple more times, breathing in, reaching the arms out, around, and up. And breathing out, bending the elbows and leading with the elbows back down to the hips. Good. Take 2 more of these on your own, moving slow, connecting the breath to the movement. Donkey says, good morning. Right, 1 more, as slow as you can. Bringing an energy of spaciousness to this movement. Nice job. When you're all done, bring your knees up and into your chest. Start to find a little movement side to side. We're massaging the low back here, just checking in, noticing how it feels. You might hear yoga teachers describe this as like a little low back massage, and maybe it doesn't feel that way to you. If you don't have a really tight low back, this might not feel that way. For years, that confused me. But now I have low back problems, so now I get it. Anyway, we're just checking in here, finding a little movement. Maybe you start to draw circles with the knees in one direction. Still breathing here. And switch directions with the knees. Beautiful job, knees hug into center. Take a breath in here. And as you exhale, let the knees drop over towards the right. Let your arms fall open like the letter T. You're in a big twist here. Option to gaze straight up towards the sky or to look towards your left fingertips. And take 3 breaths here, just softening into this big twist, noticing how it feels in the hips, in the spine, in the chest. 2 more breaths. Children. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, return your knees to center. Good. Breathing in once more here. And as you exhale, let the knees fall over towards the left side this time. Option to gaze towards the right. Allow yourself to consciously soften your body here. Actively stretching your fingers long, noticing any sensations through the arms, through the wrists. 2 more big, slow breaths here. Good. Now next, there's the option to add in a little bit of core engagement here. If this is just not a morning that you're feeling it, you can redo this nice and slow twist once more on each side for a little bit of activation, just a tad bit of heat. As you breathe in, bring your knees to center. And as you exhale, lower the knees towards the right, but let them hover. We're going to pause here. You might push both palms into the ground for more stability. Notice the way your core kind of catches here to help keep the legs lifted. If you want a little more, straighten the legs any amount. Stay here for 1 more breath in. And 1 more breath out. So good. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale to the left, hovering the knees here. Again, we're going to pause. We're going to hold, creating a little bit of a burn here. Arms are anchoring you down. Knees are hovering. Core hugs in for support. Maybe you straighten the knees any amount. Inhale. Exhale and stay. And now we'll flow 2 times, matching breath to movement. Inhale, center. Exhale, hover to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, hover left. So good. One more time through. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, hover to the left. Option to just go one more time if you're feeling it. Inhale, center. Exhale, optional, hover right. One more side. Inhale, center. Exhale, hover to the left. Good. Breathe in, knees come back to the middle. And as you exhale, squeeze the knees into the chest. Find another moment to check in with the back, with the spine, just noticing any effect that that movement had. Good. Next is happy baby. If like a full happy baby is just available in your body at the crack of dawn, please, by all means. If you're still feeling a little stiff through the backs of the legs and the hips, send your feet up towards the sky and then grab for the backs of your knees and use your hands to pull your legs towards your body and just find some little rocking movement side to side. You could also put your hands on top of your knees and grab, there's no wrong way to do this. We're finding some opening through the hips and the inner thighs. Outer hips might be feeling it too. Still breathing here, taking it nice and easy. You know, as the body starts to warm, maybe you do play with reaching towards maybe the backs of the calves or the shins, thinking about kicking one leg long and then the other. You might use your elbows to brace against the insides of your knees, and you can kind of find this elbows pushing into knees, knees meeting that resistance, finding a little bit of a deeper stretch. 3 more breaths in whatever version of the shape you're playing with here. Nice job. At the bottom of your third exhale, bring your knees back into center. Keep the left leg in, let the right leg go nice and long, and your heel can rest on the floor. This is a 4-part movement. We're gonna kind of build it step by step. So let the long leg relax for now. With your bent knee, squeeze this knee up into your chest and then a little out towards your left armpit. So you're squeezing, using the strength of your arms to pull in, and then use the strength of your leg to push against that resistance of the arms. Notice that sensation through the inner and outer left hip. And then you can start to maybe move through the left ankle, draw in circles, like writing your best friend's name. I don't know, whatever feels right to you. And then there's the option to really lengthen through this long right leg. So we're keeping this engagement in the left leg. We're imagining that like Stretch Armstrong, Gumby legs. This leg could just grow even longer. Maybe you visualize the front of the hip stretching long here. And maybe you're finding movement through both ankles. Relax your face. Relax your upper back here. One more big breath in. And a big breath out. Good. Gently bring the right leg in to meet the left. We'll find this on the other side. Right leg comes in and then a little out towards the armpit. Left leg goes long. We'll take our time setting up here to squeeze the right knee, feeling that compression along the right side body. Maybe even feel a little bit of compression towards the ribs or your chest. And then meeting that resistance with the leg, bringing an active stretch here. Just noticing how this feels on the side, introducing some movement to the right ankle, relaxing through the shoulders. Now we'll add in the left leg. Keep doing what you're doing with the right leg. Stretch your long left leg as far away from you as you can. I think the visualization can be really helpful. So I like to imagine that, have you seen Muppet Treasure Island? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. You've seen Muppet Treasure Island? There's this iconic scene where Gonzo gets stretched on the ship. He's being like tortured by the pirates, but his body just stretches so long while he's connected to these ropes. And that scene just lives in my mind rent free. So maybe you're thinking about that. One more big breath in. And a big breath out. What can you soften? Nice. Bring the left leg back up to meet the right. Take a minute here just to like reset through the body, however feels good to you. Beautiful. And we're going to make our way into child's pose now. So you might like roll onto your side, press yourself up nice and easy. If you're feeling a little more energetic and you want to play with this rock and roll, all of those are great ideas. We're going to meet in child's pose together in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Child's pose, toes touch behind you, knees open wide. Let your chest melt down. If you've been here before and you're familiar with child's pose, start to think about lengthening through your spine and softening your body. If this is uncomfortable for you, try bringing your thighs to touch so your chest can rest over your legs. And then if this is uncomfortable in the shoulders, bring the hands back towards your ankles. You can rest the side of your head on the ground. This is called Embryo Pose. Another great option. So as you continue to breathe here, can you think about letting your hips grow heavier, growing closer towards your heels. And at the same time, your spine is stretching longer, reaching further away from the hips. And then everything along that column of the spine is softening down. 2 more breaths here. Option to give your forehead like a little windshield wipe massage here on the mat. Good. Crawl your fingertips off towards the top right corner of your mat. This is a big stretch for your left side body. You might feel this all the way from the left hip up through the rib cage and even the armpit. Breathe in here, feeling the belly press against the thighs. And breathe out. Once more like that, expanding through the rib cage in all directions. And breathing out. Crawl your fingertips back to the center and then off towards the other side of your mat. Same thing, different side. Finding a few breaths here. You can intensify this sensation of the stretch through the right side if you want by finding this like push-pull like feeling with your 2 palms on the ground. So I like to think about pushing the left palm into the ground and isometrically pulling the right palm back towards me. Just an option. 1 more big breath here. Big exhale. Gently return yourself to center and make your way up into a tabletop position. So on all 4s, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Spread your hands wide on the mat. Use the full surface area of your hands to support you in these next couple shapes. Actively push your hands into the ground and knees and shins into the ground and hug the front body up to meet the back. This is a really active tabletop. You're energizing through the core. Arms are starting to light up. As you breathe in, lower your belly, lift the chin up. Cow pose. Couple moments here just to find some organic movement. Go ahead, breathe in. As you exhale, round and curl the spine, tucking the chin down towards the chest, finding cat pose. Imagine you could launch your heart up through your upper spine, push your hands down into the ground. We'll find breath to movement here. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 2 more rounds of this on your own, moving with your breath. Good. And now I just set a timer for 1 minute. There's an invitation to just find movement in this shape. Maybe you keep going with cat and cow. Maybe you start to explore what some hip circles would feel like. Maybe you play with going from child's pose up to cat or cow. If this feels okay in your low back, you might find King Cobra, rolling over the knees, kind of finding this little like side to side moment in the hips. Chest is broad. These next 30 seconds are just about you following the cues your body's sharing with you, using the breath to facilitate movement. I'll give you a little bit of space to find this on your own. Good, 10 more seconds. Maybe you're opening up through the jaw, through the face, making some truly crazy faces. I love it. Good. All right. Return yourself to tabletop. One more option here for some core activation. Again, if you're not feeling it, invitation to find child's pose or any of the other more stretchy things we've done so far. These are bird dogs. They're really good for building core stability. And if you have like low back pain, this also just helps stabilize through the pelvis. So right hand or maybe right fist, stay on the ground, send the left leg back long. This is the option I meant to give. If you're not feeling this, stay here and like stretch through your calf. There we go. More coffee. And then reach the left. Oh my gosh, Abby, your left hand is on the ground. Your right arm is long. It's like opposite arm and leg. I've taught this 1,000 times before. I'm so sorry. All right, good. Is there invitation to stay here? Again, we're still hugging the front body up to meet the back. Maybe you take this one step further and you lift the left leg up. Can you tuck your tailbone like 2% here? We're looking for a long straight line from the back heel out through the fingertips, not like a bow shape. So if you feel this bend in the low back, straighten it out, and then from the top of your hamstring, lift this left leg. I'm holding you here on purpose. I'm not just like talking to be a total maniac here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, elbow to knee touch underneath you, finding a little bit of a cat pose in your back. Inhale, lengthen and extend like you could kick down this wall behind you. And exhale, really slow, elbow to knee, practicing control much more than speed. Let's do 2 more together. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. You've got 1 more. You got this. Breathing in. And breathing out, elbow to knee. Good, good, good. And then release back into tabletop. All right, we'll do this on the other side. I will explain it more clearly this time, or I'll at least try. Okay, so now your right hand or fist is on the ground and your right leg is also back. Lift the left fingertips up, reaching them long and forward. Again, you could stay here. You could keep both hands on the ground. You might just enjoy this stretch through the long right leg behind you. If you're like, no, Abby, I'm in the mood to be doing bird dogs, lift the left arm up, lift the right leg. And we take some time here to stabilize and like find our breath in the shape so that we get the most out of the movement. So glutes are turned on. Think about lengthening through the back leg more than lifting it. I'd rather the leg be actually a little lower here, but long and like strong through the heel, than up and bringing this bow into your low back. So we're thinking about the right leg. Love it. Now we're going to think about the left arm. Think about lengthening yourself in both directions here. Gaze is down, back of the neck is long, core is hugging up and in. You're doing amazing. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee, really slow, like you're moving through honey. Inhale, lengthen on purpose. Exhale, elbow to knee. Good. Inhale, lengthen. We've got 2 more. Exhale, elbow to knee. This is your last one. Make it your best. Breathing in. Breathing out, elbow to knee, and then release. Nice job. Find a little bit of movement here. Maybe it feels good to send the hips just side to side. It's like secretly a lot for the glutes. And then we're going to make our ways all the way down onto our belly, finding Sphinx pose. So legs are long behind you. They can be wide, like as wide as the edges of your mat or wider. And bring your hands in front of you like the number 11. Elbows can be a little bit in front of the shoulders unless you're feeling really open. If your elbows are right under your shoulders, this is just a more intense, like spine strengthening back bend. So just like when we were in tabletop, the palms are wide on the ground and all of the arms and hands are pushing down. Think about drawing your heart forward and then up, broadening across the chest here. And you should feel supported in your low back by your glutes. So maybe they're like lightly turned on, but we're not clenching through the lower body. And this last little activation here to help strengthen through the back and open through the chest, push the hands down, and then imagine you could drag your elbows back towards your body. Notice any shifts there. And now we just breathe. I know this is a lot. You might be feeling some heat building, maybe a little bit of like, muscle burning. I love it. And you can sit here and just find some movement through the neck, maybe just like up and down. Nice and slow. Just noticing. Maybe you start to bring like some left to right. Noticing where the neck might be feeling a little restricted. Good. There's also the option here to draw circles. Like slow, be slow. These are the biggest circles you can manage to draw. Imagining that you're drawing with your chin. We're here for about 4 more breaths. Keep the activation through the arms, through the upper back. You might think about gently pinching the shoulder blades together behind you to open up through the collarbone. Take 1 more breath in. And 1 more breath out. Good. Now let yourself lower all the way down onto your belly. We have a shoulder stretch, and then we're going to wrap right up here. So this is called shoulder pigeon. You could also do this in a door frame at some point if you're like, I don't like this on the ground. So watch here and then decide what works best for you. Send the left arm out long, like kind of straight out at your side, maybe at an angle, maybe the elbow is bent. This will be different for all of us. We're going to gently roll any amount onto the left shoulder. Weight isn't really on the shoulder. This is allowing you to open up through the pecs on this side. You might rest your head. This is like a little awkward trying to rest the head, but we're looking to find softness through the body, really focusing on this opening through the front of the shoulder. Find 2 breaths here. Maybe your right leg rests on the ground beneath you. Maybe it's like just floating in the air. That is all fine. Good. Return to center. Send your right arm out long at your side. We'll roll onto the right shoulder this time. So it's like creeping the right fingertips away, creating a little bit of space, and then gently rolling. I wish that I knew how to show you this. I'm so sorry. Allowing the right pec, front of the right shoulder to open. Rest your head wherever feels good. My chiropractor taught me last week that neck stiffness and like upper back stiffness are often very related to pec and chest tightness, which I guess makes sense to me now that she said it, but I hadn't thought about it. I've been stretching my pecs a lot. My neck's been feeling better, so maybe try it. Good. Gently return to center. This is the moment where you can either go to child's pose or we can find downward facing dog together. If you're going to down dog, hands are wide at the top of the mat, lifting the hips up. Give yourself a moment here, pedaling through the legs. Oof. Just checking in with the calves, Achilles, the whole back line of the body. Keep your hands really wide on the ground. Maybe think about spiraling your armpits in towards your face, which helps broaden the shoulder blades across the back, stabilizing you here. 2 breaths. Good. Now, option to walk your hands back towards your feet, finding yourself in a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as feels good. Just letting the torso hang heavy here. Feet are wide, knees are bent. Head, neck, and shoulders relaxed completely. Maybe you're finding a little movement. Maybe you're finding stillness. Find 3 breaths. Good. And we'll end standing up. So bend your knees even more. Bring your hands to your hip creases and hinge yourself up to stand. So nice and easy, protecting the low back. Good. All right, when you make it all the way up to the top, find a comfortable standing distance here, somewhere where you feel supported. You're not like, oh, I'm going to fall down. Take a big breath and reach all the way up. And as you exhale, draw your hands to heart. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, reaching wide and tall, feeling openness through the heart. Exhale, hands down to your heart center 1 more time, breathing in. And breathing out. Good. That's our practice for today. Thank you so much for joining. 30 minutes and 15 seconds. Yes. I'm really trying to get better at my time management of these classes. I really appreciate you tuning in today. Thank you. As always, if this helped you feel good, I'd love if you shared it with a friend. All this classes, content, and stuff is available for free, and it just makes me happy when it reaches more people. And I know that this is like a meaningful contribution I can make to their lives. So if you have like requests or questions or comments, like you can leave them on this video somewhere. I do read them. And okay, I'm done talking now. Have a great day. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.